Hello everyone, Lily Akers back once again, and today we will be taking on Levi Strauss Signature Speedway for the Market Street 150 and the Appalachian 150 at Martinsville. If you do enjoy NASCAR and other gaming related content, do subscribe and hit the like button. Also turn on the bell for notifications so you will never miss out on a video. Without further ado, let's get ourselves started for this episode. So, the Levi Strauss Speedway is somehow a very familiar shape for those who are in the know with this game. It is, yet again, another triangle-shaped speedway, similar to Pocono and somewhat to Nazareth. I would say they're kind of more of a combination. But it's more banked like a Nazareth. You can easily run pretty flat around here. However, right now that is not the case for me. So I might just be a little bit wrong about that. Pit laps do tend to go pretty quick around here. 16.3, 16.4. Let's see if I can maybe make this a little bit better. First of all, I'm going to go back up to 21. Do I take it down another half turn? Do I not take it down half turn? That's a tough decision. I think I will in this case. I think I'll leave fourth gear as it is. I actually might add just a smidge of downforce, believe it or not, up on the downforce. Yeah, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Now, for whatever reason, it starts you in third gear. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it does help to go down to second gear first. Fantastic. Yeah, clearly patience is not my middle name. Oh, well, that's convenient. That's the same guy I had issues with before. And now I have issues again. Neat. Alright, let's try and regain our composure here. I can literally not see a thing through turn 2. That will be a problem until that goes away. Two and a half seconds. Pretty close. A little bit off, but it's close enough. And somehow, right now, I'm just embarrassing the heck out of my qualifying time. Yeah, sometimes by backing up the corners, you can actually go faster. It usually depends on the track and those you're racing against. Turn 1 is probably the trickiest on this track, just for the fact that it's actually quite flat, so you need to slow down more than you would think. Case in point, had to go from 110 to 125 to 130-ish, 135-ish. Yeah, that would be fantastic if I actually could. I'm losing so much time, and I think part of that's because I brought up the spoiler. Oh, I knew I should not have done that. Oh well. Lesson learned for the next time we come back here. And yes, for some reason most of these tracks we come to twice. Alright, that's a little bit better. Nice to make a clean pass on somebody for a change. With me, that seems to be a bit of a rarity. Especially in turn 1 for some reason. Now let's see. Once I get past this guy, whoever this is, how long will it take me to get back to the front? That's going to be the question. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't take too long, but if they keep trying to block me like that, that could take a while. Yeah, be careful with the AI and their blocking ability. They absolutely love to block. As you can see. Mr. 86 car, Howie Black, use him as an example. Because he's right in front of me, and because why not? I go to the outside, block outside, go inside, same thing. He really cost me some time there. That is not neat. That is anti-grand. Let's recompose ourselves a bit here. We still have over halfway to go. I may have to use the Intimidator button here in a little bit. For those who may or may not be familiar with NASCAR 05, when you draft behind somebody for long enough, you have the option of hitting the A button to share the draft with them and become allies or friends, or hit the B button to intimidate, force them into a mistake, etc. How quickly those gauges fill depends on your hero-villain status, which is where you gain hero and villain points at the end of every race. And I really need to get by this guy. Come on. Let me go. Okay. Into P3. How long will it take me to get back to where I want to be? We are 2.1 seconds back, heading into lap 20. I would say they're probably second and a half in front. So let's see. So a little bit here. You know, I have to say, Levi Strauss does have some nice scenery. It kind of reminds me of like a mountain range, like in Tennessee or Pennsylvania, somewhere like that. Okay, yeah, I was unfortunately not paying attention, was not expecting that. That is going to make this even more difficult, because now I have a rival in between me and the leader. That is not a good idea for those of you who are relatively new to this game. Having rivals will make it more difficult for you. Yes. But at the same time, they'll also want to try and get revenge on you, which is not very helpful when you're trying to go make a pass on them to try and get back to a leader. Yeah. That is wonderful. Just what we need. Or, I guess, just what we don't need. So in a case like this, if you do happen to have that be the case, like your spotter said, he's looking for some payback, so be very careful with that. It's not just when you're side by side. He may decide, or she, may decide to try and get you on the straightaways too, which, again, is not desirable. Alright, we have caught up to the leader. 6.5 tenths back. Honestly, I did not think we were going to get back here. It only took somebody losing an engine to do it. Oh, fantastic. Now we're 10 laps to go. We are 4/10 away. You know, there are times in my games where I am very critical of me and my driving style and how I do everything. But even to just get this close, considering I was like 2.5 to 3 seconds back at one point, not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm definitely feeling a tire wear now, though. I am fairly certain I will not be winning this race. Certainly not with a rival behind me. That's going to be a problem. But we are getting down to it now. Coming to 6 to go. And yeah, I think it's probably going to be a podium. Definitely not going to be a win. But there's an old saying, you can't win them all. So, you know, I'll take a podium for sure. Yeah. Tell me something I don't know. Believe it or not, it gets easier to drive when all of your tires are evenly worn. I know, that sounds so opposite of what you would think. But that's not the case. 3 to go. The only way for me to win now is if somebody else blows up. I have 2 to go. And as NASCAR on Fox likes to say, here we are at 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Or, in this case, 1 to go, sponsored by completely unsponsored. So we will take a nice P2, roughly 1 second back. And as the spot crew chief says, nothing wrong with that, exactly 1 second behind. Yeah, we didn't exactly make many friends today. We did earn like $5,500 or so. Okay, Dwight, villain points. Yay, villain points. You better, Ace, or you're going to be hearing it from my agent. Oh wait, you are my agent. So then you'll be hearing it from me. And time for the Appalachian 150 at Martinsville. A very familiar track to those who know NASCAR and its history. I do believe its first race was 1949, if I'm not mistaken. It was part of the original NASCAR circuit. Again, we are going to be putting the tire pressure all the way down. Suspension is definitely not going to be one turn. And believe it or not, I actually do like to bring third gear up in this case. I know that sounds quite ridiculous, but there is a reason for that. Downforce is going to remain the same, and we are going to qualify. No, maybe I should have made this more difficult and just not qualify for these at all, start from the back. I might decide to do that actually, starting with the Truck Series. We'll see. See, the reason I like to bring up third gear like that is because I actually do downshift at the corners to get the car slowed down a little bit. Oh boy. Wonderful. Okay, phew. I will not lie, I was worried about that. I really honestly was. And I was only a tenth and a half behind, too. Very, very interesting. Now, do I dare change anything? I'm definitely not changing the spoiler of this race. That was a terrible idea. I think because I'm going to be shifting, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue having the tire pressure be the same. So, let's start the race. Yes, some of the best words I could ever hear. Clear all around. Very nice. As you can tell, the speeds are, on average, much faster around Martinsville in these cars than any of the other series. And that actually has to do with two different things. One, these cars, like I said in a previous episode, are kind of half stock car, half open wheel car, which helps with grip. And also, the spoiler is much, much higher. So that also helps with grip through the corners. Your typical race cars back in this era for Cup Series would be in the high 19s, I do believe. But as you can see, we're doing mid to high 17s. So they're a couple seconds quicker. Oh, and another reason why I like to shift into the corners. Let's do a quick lap count here. So I was 2.2 seconds going into this lap in terms of my lead. And coming across the line, it's about 2.6. So yeah, I'm gaining about 4 to 5 tenths a lap over these guys. They don't shift, I am. Also, shifting down into third keeps your RPMs up, so it helps you accelerate off the corner. Which is very useful if you want low lap times and big leads. Well, on short tracks anyway. That was close. Alright, 17.8. I am actually pretty comfortable with that. Though I'm starting to wonder how much longer it's going to take for these tires to really start falling off, because I kind of, as you may have seen in previous episodes, I do like to kind of overdrive the corners a little bit. Case in point right there. In real life, you would definitely not be able to get away with that. So I usually like to kind of aim the car for like an early apex, like this. Rotate it around, come off the corner, and shift. Point, brake, downshift, gas, off, upshift. In that order. Now something that also will help me eventually is you see the tire marks from where I'm just braking like mad. I can actually use that as kind of like a guiding point for where I want to turn in. So you want to brake while you're still going straight. You want don't want to be braking too much while you're turning. You could easily lose the back end that way. And spin out, which is not ideal. Once you kind of settle into a rhythm as well, you can kind of practice on your lap times, kind of focusing on those a little bit. You know, I did 3 laps there that were all 17.95. It was just thousands of change, and that was an 87. Yeah, don't hit the wall, please. It's very easy for real-life NASCAR drivers to do this because they're constantly listening to their car. It's one of the few things they can actually hear, besides their spotter and their crew chief, of course. So once you get into a rhythm, it really does kind of become a lot easier. There's another 17, mid 17.8. We are coming to the halfway point now. Sometimes I actually will double shift, but I just can't remember which series that's in. I think that's in this one. My tires are really going. I will sometimes double shift. But I would only recommend single shifting. And lapping cars at Martinsville, if you thought lapping cars at Door County 150 was difficult, now you really get to see just how difficult it is. Because they brake so much sooner than you. What I tend to do is I tend to be just really cheeky about it and dive down the inside. And brake really late. I know it's not the smartest thing to do, probably, ever. But it's a strategy that, at least in NASCAR 05, does work. And the interesting thing is, too, they will help you gain speed down the straights, so you could actually see your lap times go down, get faster. For example, last lap was an 18:30, that was an 18:10 because of the draft. Yes, you actually do have something of a draft, even this slow, at Martinsville. That actually is a thing. It's not a very powerful one, but because these cars punch such a big hole in the air, it actually is something to use to your advantage. Thanks, but I kind of just smacked the hell out of the car, so yeah. I appreciate this. Still appreciate the sport. That is definitely very thoughtful, but I kind of did just kind of kill the car. The only reason it's not damaged beyond repair is because I have a quick repair. Just for the simplicity of this career mode. A lot of the more veteran players of racing games will put it on more realistic settings, as I forget to shift. But I prefer, just for this career mode, you know, KISS. Keep it simple, Sam. Even though Sam's not my name. Yeah. We're sliding again! Okay, Mr. 1851, I know that you like to conserve your stuff, but we're not quite that old. This is 2021. We're not 170 years old. Sorry, just saying. Why must somebody constantly be blowing up? That did not help our lead, but with only 6 laps to go, I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. No, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. You can just go to my outside, Mr. Rainbow Car. It's sad that I'm saying that, and yet I'm part of the rainbow community. Like I said in a previous episode, despite my voice, I am transgender. Male to female, so I appreciate your support with this channel. And we are 4 to go now. And I do live with a family who is very, very anti-rainbow, so I have no choice but to speak like this. Even though I'm trying, I don't speak like this outside the house. Why, thank you, Mr. I Wish You Had a Name. No, seriously, if the crew chief does have a name, please let me know in the comments, because I've just pretty much always called him Mr. No Name, or Mr. Crew Chief. So yeah. Or did you have a certain name for your crew chief or spotter that you would like me to know about? Again, leave it down in the comments below. Also, be sure, once again, to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more updates and videos. Okay, good. Nobody's gonna yell at me tonight.